Hi there, welcome to Module 2 in Drawing Near to God Through Nature Photography. This session is called Finding Our Way. And I've been on a lot of hikes in my time. I love being outdoors, so I've hiked a lot. I've hiked to, mountain lakes, waterfalls, to mountaintops. I've summited mountains. I've hiked to great overlooks where I could see a ton of things. And on those hikes, the majority of the time, I've been on a pathway. And it's important to be on a pathway to find our way. So we're going to be looking at our pathway through this course. First off, in this session, we're going to restate our goal. And then we're going to define the terms we're talking about here. So we're all on the same page. And we're going to talk about the biblical importance of drawing near to God. And we're going to talk about what hinders us from drawing near to God. And we're going to look at one thing specifically. And we're also going to talk about who should take this course. Is it good? Is it for people who have a high-end camera? Is it for people who use their phone? Or is it for both? So we'll take a look at that. And we're also going to take a look at how God speaks to us. Because He speaks to us through His Word, He speaks to us through His Spirit, and He speaks to us through His creation. And we're going to look at all those things in this session. So let's get started. Welcome to Module 2 of Photography and Drawing Near to God. This is Finding Our Way. In Module 1, we looked at an overview of the course. In Module 2, we will take a deeper look at the important concepts we will dive into throughout this course. But the first thing I want to do is recall our goal. And our goal for the course is to help you learn how to use nature photography to leave the stresses and distractions of this world so that you can better draw near to God and find greater peace and contentment in Him. With that being our goal, what are the important concepts we will dive into throughout this course to attain that goal? Well, there are many. And I want to take a look at them and define them for you so we can all better understand them as we make our way through the course. The first one is this idea of drawing near. What is that? What does it mean to draw near to God? Well, we're going to take a good look at that. And we're also going to look at distractions, because distractions keep us from drawing near to God. We're also going to look at who should take this course and is it right for you? And finally, we're going to look at God's revelation. We're going to look at the theology of how God reveals Himself to us and how He uses nature as one of the ways He does that. Now, with that idea in mind of God revealing Himself through nature, we're going to talk about how creation speaks to us about God and how God speaks to us through His creation. Now let's look at that idea of drawing near to God. So and why it's important. Why is it important to draw near to God? Why do we need to draw near to Him? I'm guessing since you signed up for this course, drawing near to God is something you have thought about and want to do. First, let's look at what the Bible says about drawing near to God. In James chapter 4, verse 8, it says, "Draw near to God, and He will draw near to you." And this is actually part of a list of things, a list of instructions James was giving believers to do in order so they may live rightly before God. And in Hebrews it says, "Let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith." So that's Hebrews 10:22. And one more passage in John 15 that most people are familiar with. And that says, "Abide in me and I in you, as the branch cannot bear fruit of itself unless it abides in the vine. So neither can you unless you abide in me." So that's John 15:4. So the Bible says it's important to draw near to God. And as we read through the Bible, we could see plenty of examples of why it's good to stay close to God. That should be good enough for us to all want to draw near to God. But why does the Bible tell us to do it? If it's important to draw near to God, why is that so? What are the benefits? Well, the first one is to know God. How could we know God, or how could we know anybody without drawing near to them? When we spend time with somebody, we know somebody. When we spend time with God in His Word and praying with Him, we get to know God. Now, people could have a long distance relationship, but yet we can't really know a person till we spend time in their presence. And to know God, we need to spend time in God's presence. We need to draw near. And we also need to draw near to have peace, because the closer we are to God, the more of God's peace we will have. It's also important to know the truth. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. How could we know the truth without knowing Jesus? Jesus also said He came to testify to the truth. And He told the apostles, when they become His disciples, they will know the truth, and the truth will set them free. We also need to draw near to God to have an eternal mindset, a mindset that's focused not on the things of this world, but of the next. Because when we focus too much on the things of this world, we have that stress. We get overwhelmed. But when we think of the things above, on the things above and the things of the next world, that's how we draw near to God, and we have a more eternal mindset. And finally, why is it important to draw near to God? To make an impact and to make my life count, to make your life count. The best way you can live your life is according to the plan God has for you, because God has great plans for you, but we can't live out the plans God has for us if we're not drawing near to Him. And when we live out our life in the way God has planned for us, we can make an impact and make our life count. But there is a challenge in drawing near to God. And what is our challenge? It is distractions. Well, it's one of our challenges. There are others, but that's the one we're